Hello, my name is Joanna Gutierrez, and today I will be giving my presentation on The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Before we go into further detail about the Last Supper painting, I'm going to go ahead and give you a few details about the artist himself, Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was born April 15th, 1452, in Vinci, Italy, to Ser Piero and Caterina. For the first few of his life, for the first few years of his life, he was raised by his mother. And then after that, around 5, he went off and lived with his father and his grandparents. Leonardo was a huge procrastinator, and I will get back with that because that is a very huge detail about him. Here are more facts about Leonardo in his early years. Leonardo became an apprentice at the age of 15 to Andrea del Verrocchio, where he studied him and his work. That is where Leonardo da Vinci picked up on a lot of amazing and beautiful habits of becoming an artist. Verrocchio was a famous artist as well back in the Renaissance era. And when Leonardo was his apprentice, they actually worked on a painting together called the Annunciation. And that artwork was so beautiful that Verrocchio actually said he was ashamed of his own talents because Leonardo did so good. And after that, it was said that he stopped painting because he was so embarrassed. Those were some rumors going around, but after the painting that they drew together, he did in fact stop painting as much. Here is the painting that they drew together. As you can see, it is a very beautiful painting. It is called The Annunciation by Leonardo and Versoncio. But we are not here for that. We are here for the Last Supper. And here is the beautiful painting, The Last Supper. So the Last Supper represents and it shows Jesus Christ himself right in the middle with his 12 disciples all around him. What I really loved about the Last Supper is that, as you can see, nobody has a halo on their head, not even Jesus Christ. And that was one of the first drawings back in the Renaissance age that somebody drew Jesus and his disciples with no halos. And that was a very beautiful thing because Leonardo painted them as actual human beings and not just these powerful men. They were human beings, and that's what uh, I think. I think that's why it caught a lot of people's attention because it was Jesus Christ and his disciples as normal human beings. What Leonardo drew was the Last Supper with Jesus Christ and his 12 disciples and the emotions on them when Jesus Christ told them that that was their last supper and that somebody around the table was going to betray Jesus Christ. So as you can see, you see lots of emotions. There's anger, there's sadness, there's Jesus Christ is okay with it. Um, Another thing is there's a lot of symbolism and a lot of conspiracies about this painting. And that's why I wanted to do it. Because me being raised a Catholic, I was always taught this is how you think, this is that. And when the Da Vinci Code came out, there's a lot of conspiracies because he made up a lot of conspiracies about the painting, The Last Supper. I wasn't allowed to watch it, but now that I'm a grown up, I got to research it, and that was pretty cool. Um, the Last Supper was the final meal. That's where Jesus Christ and his disciples were. Um, and that's when Jesus Christ said that somebody was going to betray him and that he will be leaving very soon. In the painting, there are actually a very few brushstrokes that remain. Because Leonardo had used a different technique. It wasn't such a sturdy painting. The Last Supper was created in 1495, and he finished it in 1498. It could have been finished sooner, but because, like I said in the beginning, he is a very, very huge procrastinator, so that's why it took him a long time. I always believed that the painting was a small painting, but it is in fact 15 by 29 feet. It is a very huge painting, and I don't. And in the first clip, it was on a wall, and that's where it is today, on a big, big wall. So the painting is very, very huge. There's a lot of wild theories that surfaced about the painting, and that was because of the book the Da Vinci. And there's a lot of symbolism in the painting as well. The conspiracies is that Maria Malgoleni was in the painting because there was a very feminine face in it, but it was actually John. Maria wasn't the one at the Last Supper. She was actually just there washing Jesus Christ's feet. She was not at the table, but she was there. Another symbolism was that Judas was the betrayer. And in the painting, Leonardo had painted Judas and Jesus Christ going into the bowl together. And in the gospel, it says, "The one who has dipped his hands into my bowl with me will betray me." Matthew 23, 26, 23. And in the painting, that's when Leonardo put that symbolism that, in fact, Judas was the betrayer. The Last Supper is in Santa Maria del Grassi in Italy, and if you want to go visit, it is still there. Book your tickets 2 months in advance because it is a very, very busy place. Thank you.